Yet another ringing endorsement of continued public transportation along Highway 16. This time it comes from Justice Wally Oppal's report Forsaken, released earlier this week.
Greyhound is hoping the new year will see BC's Passenger Transportation Board rule in the company's favour.
Greyhound filed an application to reduce their service along Highway 16 west from Prince George heading west from 6 days a week to 1. Which flies in the face of the Highway Tier Symposium recommendation that talks about we need a safe transportation ability for people, and particularly vulnerable people and women, to be able to travel the Highway 16 corridor.
The symposium, held in March 2006, generated a final report with a series of recommendations, many aimed at reducing the numbers of girls and women hitchhiking along Highway 16.
It's unfortunate, but even today, and at this time, they still hitchhiking, and it's been really stressed out through Indian Territory all the way to the coast and to the west coast that that you shouldn't be hitchhiking.
Earlier this week, Justice Wally Oppal released his report that touched briefly on transportation issues, especially in remote areas. He writes he wholeheartedly endorses renewed advocacy for a public transportation system in that region. But Greyhound is a business that claims to have lost $14 million in BC alone last year.
Well, I think the government has to come up with something, because it was brought up in 2006 in the symposium, which was put up by the partners and all the interested groups that participated with that, including our community, Lately Tane.
Mayor Sherry Green wasn't the only mayor to express concerns over Greyhound's application. Several mayors and members of the public also submitted letters. She feels those letters, along with the Oppal report, may sway the board's decision.
I think they were quite surprised by the amount of attention that got, and they have asked Greyhound to do a bit of work, and the process has been delayed a bit because I think of the outpouring of concern that people had for this issue. So I think we'll see a modified application. We might see perhaps some reduction, but not nearly the drastic measures that they were trying to achieve.
No word from the Passenger Transportation Board on when to expect a final decision, one way or the other, on Greyhound's application. Cheryl Jan, CKPG News.